Okay, welcome to the Crow Discovery Project. I wanted to make this clip both to announce my podcast coming very shortly, which will be at the end of this clip, and also I was recently on K-Talk, 6:30 a.m. on a show called Taboo Conspiracy. I had contacted them back asking for the archive file so that I could run it on my channel, at which point we found out that someone had taken the archive file of the show where I was interviewed and had callers call in to talk and ask questions, was recorded over. That's pretty blatant. That's not something that's done accidentally. But I received another email today informing me that Taboo Conspiracy had been shut down. And I guess I won't mention the names because I guess I don't want to cause any more trouble. But what I'm led to understand is that Taboo Conspiracy was shut down after the station manager told them to stop talking about controversial subjects like the lunar wave, flat earth, Holocaust, Sandy Hook, Boston bombing, etc. And when they stood up for their rights to talk about whatever the heck they want, they were shut down from what I understand. Now, I'm just hearing this now, but I wanted to run a clip because I've been harping on what's going on with free speech, both on YouTube, the internet, and now apparently on AM radio, and what people want to interview and what they're being allowed to interview. But I thought it was a bit astonishing when I was sent a link to the archive with an apology from the guy who did the show, Taboo Conspiracy, saying it looks like someone recorded over it. You kind of have to do that on purpose. You have to go get a file, open it up, open a microphone, and record, and then resave the file to do that. So it's a bit astonishing to me that if this is in fact what's happened, and I'm just now hearing about it, that a show was shut down because we talked about false flags, lunar waves, the things that I listed out. It's time to stand up and demand our rights. We should be able to talk about anything we want. We're not calling for violent revolution or anything else. We're simply dissecting these false things that are being laid in front of us. At any rate, my podcast is coming this month, and here's a short promo for that. And there it is. Cheers.
Everything that you've been taught in school is their system, what they want you to learn. I think our time for having the ability to do anything about it is constantly diminishing, and I think we see that in just the overt disregard of even the false flags. They don't care anymore. If you look back to the 50s, this stuff was very couched and hidden to a very sleepy audience. Well, the audience ain't so sleepy anymore, and yet it hasn't become more hidden. It's become more overt. When you look at school, what you have been taught is how to function within their system. You have been taught nothing about the system. But you better realize that those people that went to Skull and Bones or Harvard or Hogwarts, there are certain, I guess, bloodlines or families that get the real education that not only tells you how to work within the system, but it tells you about the system. And that system has been hidden from 90-some% probably of this planet. And when you see those kids putting on that mortar board, Mason reference, they're squaring the circle. Your head's the circle, the mortar board's the square, and there's Saturnian references and all kinds of stuff. But the problem becomes, no one ever told us what Saturn means. No one ever told us why a black cube is important. No one ever told us why these dates are important. No one ever told us why equinoxes and solstices are important. So here we are, babes in the wood, scrambling to try to catch up, basically. But we can see people who have the ability to catch on need to catch on quick, and they need to start saying no. No to the magistrate. No to all these systems of control. They need to understand that they're human beings, and they have, whether they choose to view it as a God-given ability or a created ability, that far surpasses what they have been allowed to know about themselves. We've been lied to for a long time, and for people who understand the deception on a massive level that we see down here with like Sandy Hook, or those who have come to understand what 9/11 really was, nothing like we were told. The moon landings, when you understand the scope of the deception of our lives that we have grown up with, thinking that the world is one way when in fact it is not the way you have been told, you have to start to take the macro view. And what you will find, I believe, what I have found, is there's no edges to this. Look at any of these events that we see weekly now that are made up in the media. There's no edge to the deception. You look up to the stars, you're still looking at the same ball of wax. If you see anyone who's famous these days, they're playing a game. They have agreed or been coerced or forced into a game that it seems like they can't get out of. You're looking at a system, and this system doesn't stop in the border of California or the border of England. It goes all the way up to everything we can see, and it is a system that has been timed. There will be events that happen that were timed long before they happen. They are numerically coded, but coded to the numbers we see, which have been perverted. Our calendars have been perverted. Our time is being perverted right now because as we went into this all-important spring equinox, our clock was changed to guarantee that our inner clock in our bodies is shifted out from nature again, and it'll happen again right at the fall equinox. All these efforts are designed to control us and to keep us basically in a form of retardation, to not be able to realize our human potential. And our human potential is vast, and it scares the crap out of them. But when you consider the system, you can almost visualize it. Everything's like a computer program, and there's going to be a calendar alert. In 2 days, there's going to be a false flag in New York at this time, in this city, with this name, at this specific time of the day, and then as soon as it happens, all these other alerts are created saying that we've got to maintain this lie. Like the NASA moonshot, that's a lie that has to get maintained till the end of time. And so how does that get done? And the only conclusion you can draw is that there is literally a massive system, probably a supercomputer involved, or something of that nature, that basically, like we open Outlook in the morning, it says you got a meeting today. When their Outlook opens, or whatever the heck it is, it tells them you got a false flag today, and by the way, you need to maintain the Paulo lie.